Why is any media property with minorities considered woke? Basically, racist people are unhappy about other races being included in media, and so they object to it. Because conservatives are racist, I think most examples that upset large groups might be characterized as forced diversity, which can take away from some stories and immersion. There are plenty of examples of minorities where no one is bothered. White people are used to having basically all media mostly showing only white people. When other races are giving more screen time, it upsets them. They think giving other people airtime is doing something bad to white people. Because a much wider portion of Americans than I would have guessed in my worst nightmare are racist pieces of you-know-what. The only thing this swath of human trash isn't afraid or bigoted against is other people in their swath. So anything outside that swath is woke. Why does it seem like Americans want media properties to exclusively have only white people? The people who do this know that they just can't say this out loud, but this is what they mean, so they say it's too woke instead. It's like people saying DEI when they just mean black person. Word, woke is now just used to mean anything with a woman or non-white person. A black woman gets a good corporate position, woke. An Arab girl in a Marvel movie, woke. A woman referee, woke El Mao. Because white racists cannot conceive of any world where they are not the center of it. Mainly because the anti-woke folks are racist and use the term woke to mean anything they don't like. I'm all for variation in gender and race. Mad Max Fury Road, Tenet. But when the movie depicts all white males as either dumb or evil, Charlie's Angels 2019, Frozen. Or if the female is a perfect Mary Sue Ray from Star Wars, Mulan 2020, then I have a problem. Another issue I have is the Academy Awards is starting to require certain inclusive criteria to be met before even being considered for an award. The way I see it, if you hire people to check off a box for inclusivity vs hiring based on talent or portfolio, you have a greater chance to end up with something bad. Mediocre. Madam Web, Wish. Not to say that a female director is bad. Jennifer Nelson with Kung Fu Panda 2-3, but if you have a qualified white male director, screenwriter, etc., but studio chooses a less qualified LGBT black female director screenwriter simply to check off a box, then you increase the chances of a lesser product. Woke is a buzzword that bigots co-opted and used to try and slander things they don't like, such as minorities, much like the Nazis' cultural Bolshevism and the cultural Marxism, a tagline to mark the things they hate with. Racism. It's really that simple. Get new friends. I'm not seeing this in my group. It's an attempt by the far right to devalue the word and score points with their base. Whether using the term woke or not, they have been doing this for half a century or longer. Nixon complained about Barney Miller in the 70s. Strawman question with an agenda. Racist conservative snowflakes are offended by non-white races basically existing. Anyone that uses the term woke as a criticism can have their criticism be completely ignored by rational people. It's not even a dog whistle at this point, it's just blatant. I don't want to see Zai's type of person represented. Woke means pushing a progressive agenda. If the show normalizes something seen as progressive, i.e. LGBTQ rights or anti-racism, it's labeled woke. Just having different races, without explicitly discussing racism, wouldn't be labeled woke. Sometimes it's more subtle. For example, if there was a movie role that was traditionally male, and the film is remade with an all-female cast, it would be considered woke. So the right has created a narrative that anything that has non-white, non-straight people in it is going to be an economic failure. Go woke, go broke, to the point that when the movie does do well, they start deleting their comments so that no one ever said that movie was woke. I.e. Dune, Doctor Strange, Moem, and if the woke movie does insanely well, they'll claim it was a masterpiece of right-wing filmmaking all along, i.e. Barbie.